One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. Oregon State Deputy AD for External Operations Zack Lassiter is back on One Question. Zack, you were on quite a while ago, but welcome back. And we're going to talk a little bit today about the NACMA Veterans Summit that you hosted. You technically hosted it in Portland, but I know it was a little bit of your brainchild. It finished yesterday. Folks were in town for a day and a half of programming. Maybe they stayed a little bit longer, but let's kind of cover the pre-story here. When did you start thinking that this type of programming was needed for a certain subset of NACMA folks around the nation? To walk me through the steps you took in lead up to actual execution in the last 2 days.
You bet, Matt. Thanks for having me. This was something that we've been talking about for a number of years. I served on our NACMA board of directors, and we every year after the NACMA convention, we look at the organization and say, okay, what are we doing well and what can we do better? And we really felt like we were serving our entry-level folks very well through the annual NACMA convention, through year-end programming that we do, our online library. But we are always trying to figure out how can we better serve, create professional development opportunities for our veterans, not obviously veterans of wars, but veterans of the industry, and especially at the assistant AD level. And we felt like we had tried a couple different ideas, but we thought it was time to try something to get them all in one place. I explain it as the Top Gun of marketing professionals, right? Like get all the best marketing professionals in the country together, help them get better through discussion and relationship building, and that's where the idea started.
And you're less than like 12 hours removed from this first one being completed. What was the vibe in the room? Were you satisfied with what you saw? Are there already things you're thinking about working on going forward? And will you go forward with this concept?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the feedback. I mean, certainly we had, I think, close to 65 folks there and really got amazing representation from around the country. And so it was really fun to see how people responded to it. Certainly we'll send out a survey here today to get an idea if we hit our mark. But I did feel really good that we checked a lot of the boxes of what we were trying to accomplish going in. Certainly, again, creating opportunities for people to get better, to build some relationships with people that didn't know one another. We were really excited about the diversity that we had. The representation, I think over 40% of the folks there were either female or a minority of some sort. And so we were really encouraged by it. Certainly, sometimes you're too close to an event to know whether it went well, but from all indications of all the things that I saw and other leaders that put this event together, we're really encouraged that we created something that hadn't been done before, and certainly, want to look at going forward. Is it something that serves this portion membership well? Can we make it better? Is it something we want to do annually? Those are all questions I think we need to look at as we look at the feedback we receive.
The athletic director panel, if I kind of read through the tweets correctly, or one of the athletic director panels you put together was with Rob Mullins at Oregon, Leon Costello from Montana State, and Scott Lakamp from Portland. What was the angle on those three specifically, and cover that session a little bit and what kind of information they delivered, what kind of knowledge they delivered?
Yeah, I mean, one of the aspirations of a lot of people in this group, obviously, was to look at, number one, how can they get better at their current job in terms of their relationship with their athletics director or deputy athletics director, and obviously long-term aspirations of what it's like to be in the chair, what's that journey like. And so those three folks did a tremendous job, I think, balancing those two topics, but then also giving a really candid impression of what it's like and what the challenges are and what the opportunities are, what their viewpoint is. And by creating, I think, a really intimate environment, those people can answer questions, I think, in ways that in a public forum make it a little bit more difficult just because of the scrutiny or the attention that we get. So, yeah, the athletic director panel was definitely one part of what we were trying to accomplish. We did a deputy AD panel as well of 3 or 4 folks who are in that external role and oversee multiple units. That's a natural next step for a lot of these marketing professionals who are in the roles that they're at. And then really kind of the neat part of the morning was we really kind of started it off with a strength finders assessment, something done across the country. It was created by Don Clifton and the Gallup organization years ago, and a lot of the focus early on in the day was built around the idea of self-awareness and leadership development. What are your strengths? How can you get the most out of yourself and others? And then throughout the day, that was a theme that we would ask, everyone along the way of okay, what are you good at? How do you emphasize those things? And so it was kind of neat to tie it all together.
And that's today's one question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.